Yo, welcome in, man. Happy Black Friday. Today is the 29th of November. It's a bunch of games on for today. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Let's get right into it for today. I didn't go through every single, well, I did go through every single game, but I didn't make any bets. So let's see if we can talk some out. I think there's still a little bit of value on the board. There's also a ton of injuries, man. It's really difficult to bet NBA right now, especially when you're not sure the motivation of these teams. But we got a Cup Friday, so maybe we can identify the motivation for today. Let's jump into it. Yesterday we didn't have any games. On Wednesday, I gave out 3 plays. They all cashed, so we needed a nice 3-0 sweep. We cashed on Miami minus the 1.5. I talked about these on the show. We cashed on Miami 1.5. I told you guys Denver was the top spot on the board. That was an easy winner. They won by 20. And also like the Clippers versus, who doesn't like a team that's playing against the Wizards? So cashed on that one as well. 3-0 day yesterday. Let's go through a couple of the comments real quick before we get started. See if we can make it an efficient show today as well. Mitchell in here says less cash. I hope everyone is in the ChrisBeCappinn family. Had a great Thanksgiving. Appreciate that, Mitchell. Same to you, bro. Hope you did as well. What's up to my guy Sean in the chat? He says on the Hornets team, total under 104.5, first investment of the day. We'll get there. What up, Drop It Dimes? He said, word of advice: don't let the friend that can't cook host Thanksgiving dinner. So some non-basketball related stuff. And this comment from Sean actually made me think of something. I actually wanted to look at last season's Thanksgiving Day. To see how teams responded. I'll look into it a little bit later. I'll look into it a little bit later, but I do want to see how teams played after Thanksgiving last season. I forgot to look at that. What's up, Captain Zach? Chino says, good morning, gang. It's going to be a great day. It absolutely is. What's up, Joshua? Chai Betts in here as well. Says one day without hoops was too long, and I agree with that. What up to my guy Mark? He says, we ready to grab a bag today? Absolutely. What's up, Rick Jones? Brian in here this morning. GLB Betts is always in here ready to cap. So he's got a coffee in hand. What up, PG? My guy Justin, always in here. Good morning, Justin. Hope you and the fam had a good Thanksgiving. What's up, OJ? Brian says you got Black Friday. We says we're gonna cash tonight with the Kings minus 4.5. We'll get to that game. It is a cup day. Kid named Cool. What's up, bro? Hope all is well with you. He says he needs some Black Friday money. Me too. ITV Grits in here. All right, let's jump into it for today. Jay Aries in here. Killian in here says good morning. Let's jump into it for today, man. Merle in here as always. What's up, bro? Jalen in here. Let's jump into it for today. And Jacob in here. What up, Jacob? Let's jump into it for today. So we got jaXon as always. I actually put this in the Discord yesterday. I think jaXon went 4-0 yesterday on the 4 plays that I looked at as far as side and total for the first 2 games. The second 2 games. I didn't really I know jaXon liked Dallas. Dallas won and covered for NFL. I know jaXon liked I think jaXon liked the under though. jaXon also liked Green Bay last night. Green Bay won and covered. And got the total right too. So I always talk to you guys about jaXon. Check it out if you guys have not. It can give you, if you don't have time to cap the games or you want to be just more efficient with your time, jaXon can give you all the stats, trends, data. You can look at it, say you want to fade it, say it makes sense, you want to back it. Check jaXon out, man. You guys can get some valuable insight. Player props, total, sides. It's pretty cool. And it's a 50% promo link in the description of the video if you guys are interested. Let's jump into the games that we got on the board for today. The first one happens to be a matinee game. We got the New York Knickerbockers. They will be in Charlotte, up the street. 12 o'clock start time here. ESPN, NBA TV game. This line was at 8.5. LaMelo gets ruled out, and the line, of course, balloons. 12.5 is what I'm seeing right now. I also see a 13 over on FanDuel. And the total, of course, is dropped as well. This was 227.5. It's dropped to 223, it looks like. And I saw this actually go down a little bit more as well. So I look at the Knicks, last game of a 5-game road trip. They've alternated between wins and losses. We talked about this the other day, both against the spread and straight up. And of course, they're coming off a loss. They've been excellent coming off a loss this season. They're also 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games, including 4-1 to the over in their last 5. And they lost by 15 against Dallas, like we talked about. This is a cup game. And hold on, let me double check something real quick. I thought I added I did. So real quick, let's just go back a couple. So I mentioned that it's a cup game. Let's look at, make sure I got all this completed correctly. All right, yeah. So let's go back just a little bit. Before we get into the game, I do have the cup standings up here so you guys can actually see them. So you can see, who the game means the most to. So Orlando has been excellent in cup play. That should be the first thing you guys see. The Knicks are second in the East Group A. They're plus 14 in point margin and point differential. And then Philly's not playing today. Brooklyn is playing today. They're minus 16. Charlotte is playing today. They're minus 26. They absolutely probably care less about this game. So the smart play was jumping on the Knicks early, if you were able to get to it, when this was 8.5, 9. Because LaMelo Ball did get rolled out, for people who don't know. I'm looking at the injury report right now. I just want to make sure I got the update. I think Terrence Mann is still out. Miles Bridges is still out. Like, it's a throwaway game for the Charlotte Hornets. Terrence Mann is still out. Nick Richards, Mark Williams, like that. What are we really doing here? The Charlotte Hornets offensively are going to be very, very challenged. I did look into this last night when the LaMelo Ball news came out. I think it was right when the Dallas Cowboy and New York Giants game started. And Charlotte offensively, I think Sean put it in the chat, Charlotte offensively should absolutely struggle. We know that they only got Brandon Miller. Like, he's the last of the team. So the under makes a lot of sense. The team total under, I think it was 107.5, 106.5 is what it opened at. Both of those make a ton of sense here. Real quick, I'm not gonna put this on the screen, but I just want to share this with you guys. So the Charlotte Hornets are they're minus 1.2 in point differential with LaMelo Ball on the floor. Their offensive rating is a 113.9. So they're scoring about 114 points per 100 possessions with LaMelo on the floor. When LaMelo goes off the floor, they're averaging just 102.4 points per 100 possessions. Their offense actually ranks in the 4th percentile out of 100. So this is one of the worst offenses. They're getting outscored by an average of 15.5 points per 100 possessions with LaMelo off the floor. I really think that that's the cap, honestly. Knicks have actually owned the Charlotte Hornets as well. They won 4 straight, covered all 4 in the head-to-head matchup. Road favorites, big road favorites in early matinee games typically win and cover the spread as well. When I was looking into this yesterday, I only used the number of a team laying 3 possessions or more, 5.5 or more before a 5 o'clock start time, and they cover about 62% of the time. So yeah, it should be a smack city spot. They should absolutely dominate the Charlotte Hornets in this spot. That's the way I would look. I know it's maybe you catch the Knicks slipping. I don't think so. Knicks have been excellent off a loss too. Just going all the way back to last season, they're 28-16, coming off a loss, 64%, 5-2 against the spread this season, coming off a loss, 71%. So it's Knicks. I didn't really think about it from a player prop perspective, but it has to be a Knicks spot in this game. Let me get back to the actual graphic for the game. But yeah, those represent specifically this game. Like I said, Cup, Knicks needing to continue to win Cup games. It's got to be Knicks in this spot, even with a big spread on the road. I think it's still Knicks. Let's see. I probably talked too long in this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking. And I didn't look at it from a player prop perspective at all. What up, JM? DJ Prop says, good morning, Chris. About to get creative with my leftovers and make some breakfast. Jacob says he got that 8.5. Says he got lucky, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think the 8.5 was good money. No LaMelo in this one. Knicks feel like a gift at 12.5, and I agree with that, man. No Ball, no Hornets. Yeah, LaMelo. Like, I don't think people have been paying attention. LaMelo has been absolutely going crazy lately. Like, he hit 6 threes against the Miami Heat the other day, brought them all the way back in that game. They had to overcome a 17-point deficit in the 4th quarter to take the lead. So they may be a little extra tired off of that game. And you just want to back the Knicks off a loss this season. They've been excellent in this spot. Should be a blowout spot. We'll see how it goes. Doggy Bone says, is it safe to say to take Brandon Miller under, or will he try to go nuclear without LaMelo? I don't think I would touch Brandon Miller to go under. The Knicks defense has not been super great and locked in. I was looking into that. They've actually been struggling recently. The Knicks have. So I know it's a one-stop shop though. You put OG Anunoby on them, and if the Knicks are motivated in this spot, they absolutely smoke the Hornets, in my opinion. Let's see, what's the first half number? First half should be what, 6.5 maybe? 7 is the best number that you can get for the Knicks in the first half. They should have a double-digit lead though. I thoroughly think that they should win this game from start to finish against a depleted Charlotte Hornets team. Charlotte got more players on the injury list than players probably playing in this game, man. Whole starting lineup pretty much out. Bridges, Mark Williams, LaMelo. Like, yeah, they got Josh Green out there today. What up, Daff? He says, what's up, gang? Tapping in to wish y'all the best of luck. Smashing J-Dub to eat on feast on the Lakers and get buckets. We're going to talk about that. We're definitely going to talk about that. Knicks -9. Merle says, what up to my guy? Cam Lingowick says, I had no idea the Knicks game started at 12 today. Thanks, Chris. Knicks team total over to start my card. So Knicks team total over makes a lot of sense. I mean, I just think you lay it, honestly. But team total over for the Knicks is 117.5. Hornets haven't been too bad defensively, but it makes a lot of sense. High says Knicks by 25. Knicks are struggling defensively, giving up threes all day, but they play great in Charlotte. And the other thing about Charlotte is they don't shoot the three-point ball well. Like, Charlotte doesn't do a lot well, honestly. KC, what's up, KC? Hope all is well with you. She says Brandon Miller points. He should get 30, and that's the way I'm thinking about Brandon Miller as well. I don't think I would fade Brandon Miller in this spot. I remember Brandon Miller his first game that he played in the Garden. Not to take too long on this game, but I remember Brandon Miller first game he played in the Garden last season during his rookie year. He went crazy. He absolutely went crazy in that game, and I want to say I had the Knicks on the spread and they didn't cover in that spot, if I remember correctly. Maybe they did cover, but Brandon Miller absolutely crushed them. Real quick, Brandon Miller. Let's see what his points. It should be 30. Brandon Miller points 25.5. It looks like it's only available in about 4 books right now. It's moving up to 26.5 on Fanatics. If you like anything, you got to like some Brandon Miller. Maybe some Seth Curry. If you get his props, probably won't be available. But yeah, this should be a smack city spot. Cat over his rebounds and assists. Nasty work by the Knicks in Dallas the other day. They on punishment. 77 figure says. I remember we took the Hornets team total under versus Boston. Like it even more today without LaMelo. Yeah, I think it's that team total under is 10. I think somebody put it in the chat. I see right now. I see under 105.5. It's some 104.5. So definitely shop around. 105.5 is available on Bet365 and on FanDuel. And I know the Knicks defense has been pretty bad, but we'll see how it goes. KC says Chris Melo scoring 50 and giving up 60. They have no chance. That's a fact, though. That is a fact. Defensively, like, Charlotte has like glimpses, though. I've watched Charlotte a lot. They have glimpses throughout the game where they can play really good defense and they kind of lock in. But yeah, they came all the way back against the Heat the other day too, and end up covering. They covered the spread in that game. They're still playing hard. They just down so many players, man. What up, Joe? All right, let's keep it pushing. I'm not gonna be able to get through all these games. What up to my guy Malik? He says, what's the word, my guy? Is there a chance we can search the totals after Thanksgiving? People might be feeling a little heavier today. Yeah, I can look into that. Let me see real quick. Because I really wanted to do that. That was one of the things that I wrote in my brain, but I didn't get a chance to look at. So let me just look at the calendar real quick and see what day Thanksgiving fell on last year. So Thanksgiving is always the fourth Thursday, right? So it would have been the 24th of last year. Let's look into this real quick, Malik. Then we'll keep it going to the next game. So that means that they would have played on the 24th last season. All right, so let's go 23-11, 24. All right, so last season, see if we can find it. because I was interested in this as well, and I'm only going to do last season on the show, but I'll drop it in the Discord and share the trends outside of last season as well. This is interesting me. So last season, favorites were only 3-7 after the day after Thanksgiving. Favorites were 3-7. Some of them even lost. They were only 6-4 straight up. So it says to take the dog in this spot. But last season, I don't think were cup games after the Thanksgiving break. So you got two things to kind of balance out between the two. But only 3-7 were favorites. The totals were 6-4 to the under, staying under by an average of 5.5 points. Average total was 227.5 last season. 6-4 to the under last season. Favorites were not covering. They were not covering last year. Average games were won by 1 point. So that says don't lay a lot of points. I do think that it favors the road team a little bit more. Let me see if the road team. Yeah, road teams were 6-4 against the number. Only 3-7 straight up. But if you were a road team, let's see if you was a road dog. If you was a road dog last season, you finished 5-2 against the spread. And it makes sense, right? Like these are the teams. I said this the other day that don't have to entertain anybody. You're gonna be a little more locked in because you stayed in the hotel. You had to board a flight the next day versus being at home, being around your family and friends. So I'm glad you pointed this out, Malik. I'll go back a few years and kind of share all this in the Discord later, but I think that's an excellent point for sure. Miller not getting 30 tonight, JM says. Total points, Hornets under 105 or first quarter Knicks minus 7.5? First half, I think you mean. That's a lot, bro. What's up, Timeout? Appreciate you for tapping in this morning. You can look at a lot of different things if you know how to do sports data query language, Jacob. And fortunately, I had some guys who kind of show me the ropes. So that's what I'm looking at right now. What up, G421? He says, what up, Chris? What you saying? All games under? That Turkey gonna slow everybody down? I mean, either that or you just not gonna be playing a lot of defense. We'll see how it goes. Let's move over to the next one. It took way too long on that game. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers. Should be a bounce back spot for them, right? They get the Atlanta Hawks today. The game is in Atlanta. So injury report for this one. We'll start with injury report. This is also matinee start time, right? This is 2:30. So we got 3 early games today. First 3 games on the board are early games. This is a 2:30 game. This game actually comes on NBA TV right after the Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets game. So for this one, we got a line that opened at 6. I see, the buyback has come in. I think this opened at 4.5, 5, something like that. The buyback has come in because this was up to 6. It's come down to 5.5. It looks like on most books. You can still get a 6 right now. And the totals also come back down. I thought that the total was a tad bit too high. If you've been around for a while, I don't really like playing totals over 240. Over 240 started to get scary because 1 quarter and everything, can go south. But this total was at 246 right before I started the show. It's actually come back down to 244.5 is what I'm looking at right now. So injury report, we have, I think on the Atlanta side, Trae Young is listed as probable. He did play in the last game. Was on the injury report with Achilles injury. He is listed as probable for this game. And then for the Cleveland Cavaliers, everything will be the same outside of Karis LeVert has been upgraded to questionable. He could potentially return. He did miss the last game that these two teams just played. So, excuse me. We know that Cleveland just lost, and I was looking into it a little bit more. The reason why they lost, and the deficiency for Cleveland, what they struggle with is they struggle to guard the three-point line. Only their second loss on the season, 17-2 straight up. But they really struggle against the three-point shot. When they lost to Boston, they gave up a ton of threes in the first half. And now that they lost to Atlanta last game, same thing. Like, that's the deficiency for the Atlanta Hawks is that while they are great inside with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, they can't really guard the three-point line. Atlanta hit 23s and shot 47% from the three-point line out and scored 130 points or plus 130 plus in that last game. And that was the reason why they lost. So now we get first leg of a back-to-back for Atlanta. They actually got a game in Charlotte tomorrow. Not too much of a look-ahead spot, depending on if LaMelo plays. They've actually gone up and over the total in 3 straight games, have the Atlanta Hawks. And then you got the Cleveland Cavaliers. Probably got some revenge on their mind. We know it's a bunch of different queries that you can look at that says if the home team loses and then they're road favorites, it's a pretty strong trend. I didn't even look into it because I kind of remember it off the top of my head. But it's about 55-60% for people who like Cleveland in this spot. And this is the reason why I didn't play Cleveland. They got a rematch against Boston coming up on Sunday. I'm not saying that they're not going to take this game serious because I think they're absolutely going to be locked in, but they do got a rematch against Boston on Sunday at home. That could be a potential look-ahead spot. This is also the first road game after 3 straight home games for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I do think it's probably an advantageous spot to play Cleveland. I think if I like Cleveland, I want to get in with Cleveland early. I know Atlanta has been pretty good in the first half, but when you just lost the way that Cleveland just lost, I think that they come out with a little something early. Not really wanting to play first quarter, but the first half is -2.5 for Cleveland. I think that's the way I would play it. I also listened to the post-game interviews. Darius Garland said, they're still fine. They're kind of a little cocky, which they are still fine. They're 17-2, best record in the NBA. But he said, we played them again on Friday, and that's the game that matters. I think Cleveland comes out with a little bit of energy from the beginning of this game. I would play Cleveland early if I liked them. -2.5 is available on a couple different sports books right now. That's the way we see in these quick revenge spots. The team that lost the first game typically a little more locked in, and I think that Cleveland can score the basketball. Of course, they can get some stops, and they'll probably be a little bit more locked in defensively from the three-point line after giving up 23s. Kenny Atkinson was not happy about that effort in the last game. So that's the way that I would play this one. I think Cleveland is in a nice little bounce back spot today. First half -2.5 would be my recommendation for this game. Also, Trae Young had 20 and 20. He didn't even shoot the three-point ball well. He actually shot it terrible. Trae was 3 for 13 from the three-point line, had 20 points and 22 assists. I'm pretty sure it's a season high. 22 assists. Could not talk anybody off playing Trae Young to go up and over his assist prop today. That's probably still sitting at 11.5 if I had to guess. Let me just look at Trae Young assists real quick, and then I'll go through a couple of the comments. We'll keep it moving. All right, Trae Young assists are 11.5 right now. -110. He had 22. He had 16 against Dallas. He had 13 against Chicago. 19 against Sacramento. So he's gone up and over his assist prop in 4 of the last 5 games. The only one he didn't was actually in Golden State. He finished with 11 in that game, and they got blew out. So I'm pretty sure he didn't play this full. Well, no, he did still play 37 minutes, but the minutes have been there. I would look at Trae Young assists, and I would look at Cleveland first half -2.5 if I'm playing anything in this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Timeout says Knicks by 20. Haha. Lingowicz, going back to the last game, he says Hornets won't be interested in defense. Knicks team total over is a safe bet. I don't like laying double digits on teams after Thanksgiving in the last game of a road trip. And that makes a lot of sense. Revenge spot for Cavs. We talked about that. Donovan Mitchell points. He did not shoot well. Donovan Mitchell shot 10 for 24 from the field, 4 for 14 from the three-point line. Had still finished with 30 points. I would expect Donovan Mitchell to have a much better game. One thing we know about Atlanta, and I'm pretty sure I haven't even looked at the numbers, like run my numbers, but pretty sure if I look at the Hawks defensively, I mean, I know that their defense has actually been a little bit better recently, but they're still one of the worst three-point defenses in the NBA, specifically from the three-point line. This is not a team that guards the three-point line well. So Donovan Mitchell up and over his three-point prop. I couldn't talk anybody off. Yeah, the Hawks are dead last in opponent three-point frequency and opponent three-point accuracy for the full season, allowing teams to shoot 42.5% from the three-point line. And 40% from the three-point line. And teams are taking 42.5% of their shots from the three-point line. Last 5 games, the 26th and 23rd. So still bottom 10, bottom 5 in both of those categories. I could see that. Merrill likes Jalen Johnson over his 12.5 points and assists, or his over 31.5 points plus rebounds and assists. And I could Jalen Johnson had a big game last game as well. He had 9 rebounds and 7 assists in that game. So cleared this number pretty easily. I couldn't talk you off. KC likes the points, rebounds, and assists over as well. It makes a ton of sense. He had what? Was 16 plus 22? 38? He had 38 in the last game, so 31.5 seems like a discount. Cavs -4.5. Pete also, that's what it opened at. Yeah, 4.5 is what it. Okay, you guys got 4.5. That's great. What else y'all seeing? Jared Allen over his 26.5 points. Trae Young balling 21-12 this season, passing the rock more, and I agree with that. Jacob got a 4.5 with the Cavs in this spot. Yeah, I like the first half a little bit more. AB says Capella over his 8.5 rebounds for -113. He got to get minutes against the Twin Towers. And yeah, I would agree with that. Blunt says, so Chris, do you think Cleveland wins the game, or you think they'll just win early? I think they win the game. I'm just not sure if it's going to be by 6.5. Like, if you want to take Atlanta, you typically want to take them as though. I say this all the time. I said this on Tuesday. I never want to play the Hawks if they're laying points. But if they're catching points, I'm always more attractive. And I know a lot of people wanted to fade the Hawks the other day. When they're getting double digits, I typically like to stay off the Hawks. Either play them or I stay off of them, because that's when they come to play. But as a home favorite, as a home dog, they can be feisty. Like, I just don't truly believe in the Cavs defense. And I think if Atlanta gets hot, they could potentially keep this game close again. Cleveland will be motivated in this spot, though. I think Cleveland wins. I'm not laying the 6.5, though, Blunt. I think if they, I think they can come out and punch first. We've seen Cavs be very, very good in the first half. Atlanta's been good in the first half too, though. Let's see. Drop a Dime says, I think the game might be the reverse of a look ahead for the Cavaliers. I think they're going to win to make sure they're all playing well ahead of the Boston game. So that's a way to look at it as well. Jacob says, I got 12 assists for Capella. I got him 12 assists. Capella under 10.5 points. Jalen Johnson over 23.5 points plus assists. Johnson 4 assists, and Mobley rebounds and assists. Bunch of stuff here. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else y'all saying? Spider over his 8.5 rebounds and assists. Parlay Donovan Mitchell 4 threes with 25 at -105. I like that, Jacob. I like that a lot. I definitely think he gets busy today. Donovan Mitchell bounce back game. Not from a points prop, because like I said, he had 30, but I think he shoots the ball a little bit better. Cleveland only shot 31% from the 3-point line last game, and they shoot a lot better than that. We know that. They shot 48 threes and only hit 15 of them. So should be a bounce back game here. All right, let's keep it pushing. Next game we got up is the New Orleans Pelicans and the Memphis Grizzlies. This is the other matinee start time game. Also, game on NBA TV. So 3 straight games on NBA TV today. We got the Pelicans coming in at 4-15. The Memphis Grizzlies at the crib 12-7 today. So this line opened at 10 yesterday, or the night before. Total was at 225. Total has been pushed up to 225 to 230.5 now, and a little bit of money has come in. Enough money has come in on the Grizzlies to move them from 10-point favorites to 11.5-point favorites. So injury report, and it's a ton here, man. This is one of the reasons why I can't play this game. You got Brandon Ingram and Trey Murphy, both listed as questionable. I saw Herb Jones listed as day-to-day. Didn't see his name pop up on the injury report. Pretty sure he probably won't play in this game. And then on the opposite side, you got Ja Morant, who will be back for this game after missing that game against Detroit on Tuesday night. You also, on the Memphis side, I also forgot to mention this, you got Jordan Hawkins listed as questionable. Memphis has dominated this Pelicans team as of late. They've covered 3 straight. They've won 2 of the last 3 head-to-head matchups as well. And the Pelicans look like a team that you just continuously want to fade. They've been absolutely atrocious on the road this season. They lost against the Toronto Raptors the other day as a home favorite. Got smoked in that spot. This is the first of a 3-game road trip for them. They've lost 6 straight, and they're only 1-8. 1-8 straight up and against the spread on the road this season, losing by an average of 19 points per game in their road games. The only cover that they had actually came against the Indiana Pacers on Monday. So Memphis, third of a 4-game homestand. They've won 4 straight. They've covered all 4. They're 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. Offense has been looking great. 9-1 against the spread. Hottest team in the association over the last 10 games right now. So, man, 10.5, 11.5 is a really, really big number. Don't really want to lay it, but if the Pelicans get all their guys rolled in, maybe then I want the Memphis Grizzlies, because they'll be laying a shorter number. I think Ja Morant being back only helps. The Grizzlies, they play well with them, without them. Now you got Marcus Smart starting to get into a little bit of a groove. It's just a very, very deep team. So, maybe if all the guys get rolled in. If Brandon Ingram and Trey Murphy and Jordan Hawkins get rolled in, maybe I like the Grizzlies a little bit then. I feel like Brandon Ingram is going to be out of shape. He has been in and out of the lineup a lot. Same thing with Trey Murphy. Same thing with Jordan Hawkins. I know that makes them better, but the Pels are absolute fade on the road, in my opinion. I want to figure out a way to get to the Grizzlies. I do want to figure out a way to get to the Grizzlies. I know I said on Tuesday to play their first quarter, either team total over or -2.5 against Detroit. And of course, I didn't play it, but of course they get smoked in that spot. Well, they don't get smoked. I think it's like a tie game. They come out in the second quarter, absolutely dominate the Detroit Pistons. I think they win the second quarter by like 18 points and, covered the first half, covered the full game, team total over, all of those different things, cash for the Grizzlies the other day. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. I don't want to waste too much time on it because, like I said, the Pelicans injury report is a little too shaky for me to want to play anything without knowing if Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, and Jordan Hawkins are going to be available tonight. Let's see. Definitely got there. That Trae Young over his assist, Sean says. Did I go up too far? Let's see. Ja Morant over his 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists, Merrill says. Java John said, don't get me started on New Orleans. What else y'all saying? Stay away from the stinker, Jake says. Fade the Pels. Easy, Rick says. Okay. Marcus Smart over his 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. LJ says Memphis first half and full game. Minus the 11.5. Pels 1-8 against the spread on the road. I just said that. Real quick, if we go back to, let's see. If we go back to in-season tournament cup play in this spot, the Pelicans are probably eliminated, right? Pelicans are actually 1-2 in cup play. They're minus 38 in point differential. The Grizzlies are actually 0-2 in cup play. They haven't won a cup game. They're minus 17. So the odds that the likelihood that they win is slim to none. They are 0-2 straight up, lost by average of 17 points. They got a loss to the Warriors in this spot and a loss to the Denver Nuggets in this spot. So not sure how much Memphis is going to really care about this game as well. Memphis eventually got to not cover a spread too, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm trusting the Pelicans with my money. I think I'd rather just go buy a Christmas gift or something for somebody than to play the Pelicans today. Brian says give him Grizzlies in the trifecta spots. He says that Pelican don't fly. AB likes the first quarter minus 3.5. Jacob says he got the Grizzlies minus 8 or 8.5. Derek says just play the Memphis team total up and over 59.5 in the first half. He says they're number 2 in points per game in the first half at home, averaging 64. And Memphis is cleared over 59.5 in 3 of their last 4 home games. Makes a ton of sense. GLB Best got a trend in here. He says double-digit home favorites in games with a total of 225 or greater are 20-3 on the money line, 14-8-1 against the number. That says take Memphis here. Yeah, I just, like I said, I want to see what happens with the injury report for the Pelicans. If these guys get ruled out, Grizzlies probably move to 13 and probably win the game by 20. They've been winning by about 20. Bobby says, who do you think wins the chip this year? Right now, I mean, I'm not betting against Boston. What my eyes are seeing, Porzingis back for 1 game. They beat the Clippers by 100. I'm not betting against Porzingis. I'm not betting against Boston. Jacob says he got Ja Morant points and assists over 26.5. Peasy likes the Grizzlies team total over. Real quick, that team total over for the Grizzlies is Memphis team total is 120.5. So you need them to get to 121. It's some 121.5s out there too, so definitely shop around. But 121 is that team total right now. Real quick, let's see how many points the Pelicans are giving up on the road as a dog this season, or just on the road in general. Pelicans are giving up 116.78 points per game on the road. Let's see. The Cavs scored 128. The Mavs scored 132. They did hold the Thunder. The Thunder only scored 106, but they only scored 88. They also gave up 125 to the Blazers, 124 to the Warriors, 104 to the Warriors, 115 to the Magic. It's been more so their offense. They're averaging 97 points per game on the road. They did get the 110 against the Pacers, but only 100 against the Cavs, 91 against the Mavs, 88 against the Magic and the Thunder. So it's really, like I said, it's going to be dependent upon the injury report, in my opinion here. Jacob says he's becoming a CLV king. LJ says, remember, Chris, both those cup games, Memphis last was without Ja. Yeah, I guess you're right. You're right, LJ. The problem is, how much does Memphis really care about the cup? Memphis also didn't have to travel. So, the last game was at home in Detroit. All of those things kind of scared me a little bit. I know the Pelicans are absolute fate. I'm not telling you guys to put your money on the Pelicans because I'm in no way, shape, or form am I doing that today. I'm just saying that the Grizzlies been at the crib. They've been winning all their games. Eventually, it got to be a little bit of a letdown spot. I'm not betting my money on it, though. All right, let's keep it pushing. Next game up, let's go over to Magic and the Brooklyn Nets. So this line was actually, this line was actually 4.5 is what it opened at when I started my notes yesterday morning. Total was at 214. It's come all the way down to 209.5, and the money has come in on Orlando Magic. They are up to 7-point favorites on most sports books right now. Just double check that. See if line has moved since I started the show. Nah, 7.5. Actually, money still continue to come in on Brooklyn. Actually pushing this up on Orlando, pushing it up to 7.5. So injury report. We got Cam Johnson listed as questionable for the Brooklyn Nets. We got Dennis Schroeder, who's out for personal reasons. Dorian Finney-Smith and Nicholas Claxton are both listed as questionable. Another game with a tremendous injury report. On the Orlando side, let me just double check. I didn't see anybody on the injury report outside of Paolo Banchero, of course. He has not made his return quite yet. But I think that's coming pretty soon too. But I mean, honestly, just keep resting them. They don't even need Paolo. Orlando Magic have been killing as of late. Gary Harris is on the report. I think he'll continue to be out, but they did get Wendell Carter Jr. back in that last game against Chicago. They smoked Chicago in that game. Orlando has been outside of Memphis, which we just talked about, and I'm not sure which team has been better, but both of these teams have been very, very good. They've been excellent. 9-1 are the Orlando Magic in their last 10 games, both straight up and against the spread. They smoked the Bulls by 14 as 9.5-point favorites on Tuesday at home. And they host Brooklyn for the second of a back-to-back series on Sunday in Orlando. So Brooklyn will pack up and come to Orlando for the second game here. Orlando is a really good covering team in the NBA. They're 12-8 against the number so far in their 20 games. 13-7 straight up. So if they win, they typically cover 60%. The Brooklyn Nets, for whatever reason, just continue to cover spreads, though. This is their first game back home after a 4-game road trip where they only lost one game, somehow coming against the team from Philadelphia. That's the team that they lost to. But they beat the Sacramento Kings as double-digit dogs. They beat the Golden State Warriors outright as double-digit dogs. And then they beat the Phoenix Suns outright as 9-point dogs, which is absolutely crazy. What the Brooklyn Nets are doing right now is absolutely insane. They played 8 of their last 10 games on the road, which is typically a fade spot. But I'm not quite sure you ever want to fade Brooklyn, especially with this number continuing to go up, man. They've been covering machines, 13-5-1 against the spread on the season, 72%. Is the second best behind only the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are covering 74% of their games so far. You look at the head-to-head matchup, Orlando has won 3 straight in the head-to-head matchup, and they've covered all 3 spreads. One of those was early this season when we laid 11.5 with Orlando in this spot, and they ended up winning that game, I think, by 15 at home against the Brooklyn Nets. We did hit that one correctly. So as far as this game, no Dennis Schroeder. This injury list is crazy, but it was some guy named Martin that I had never even heard of who dropped 30. I'm like, bro, what are Brooklyn Nets getting these players from, man? Like, who are these guys? You come into Phoenix. I know Phoenix was coming off a pretty big win against the Lakers, but you come into Phoenix on the third game of a road trip, coming off 2 outright wins, and you beat this team. You beat the Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. Man, I keep saying the same thing about Brooklyn. Eventually, you got to fade them. I'm not quite sure I want to fade Brooklyn, man. I don't know if I want to get in front of that trade, man. I know Orlando has been excellent, but Orlando typically does not play as well on the road. I think they're 5-14 in their last 19 games on the road. Are the Orlando Magic? I'm not sure what to do with this one, man. I'm really not sure what to do with this game. I think if Cam Johnson does it, I would say if Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith don't play, that should, be a little bit. It should be a little bit better for Orlando if you do like them. But like I said, these guys were out the other day and they still just kind of did whatever they wanted to do. And we know that Cam Thomas isn't playing. He's going to be out for quite a while now. But it don't really feel like it mattered. Don't really feel like it mattered at all. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Magic as a road team. Give me the Brooklyn. Ligner says, okay. 77 Figure says, top play of the day, Magic. So we got some conflicting trends here already. Jacob says he played the under before the injury news. Franz Wagner over 6.5 assists. Magic minus 6.5. Got to an early under 215. Ben Simmons over, I'm guessing. I just say Ben Simmons rebound 6.5. I'm guessing that's over instead of under. Brian says Orlando Magic absolutely money. Not going to jump off yet. And the crazy thing about that, Brian, is Orlando don't have a better record than Brooklyn, ATS wise. They cover 60%. Brooklyn covers 72% of their games so far. 13-5-1 is the second best ATS record. Blunt says he loves the Magic here. No Cam Thomas, no Schroeder. That's what I would think too, man. That's what I would think. But like I said, I didn't get there. Did not get there. Don't think I'm going to play the game if I'm being honest. Maybe I'll sit and watch. This is a ESPN game, I want to say. Let's see. Let me double check real quick. I want to say this is the ESPN game. No, it's actually not an ESPN game. It's just a regular game in Brooklyn. Let's see. These team totals have dropped. Brooklyn team total all the way down to 101.5. And I know Orlando defensively has been really, really good, but the Nets have been getting to that team total, man. The Nets have, I'm gonna put some numbers to it for you guys real quick. The Nets are 13-6 to their team total over. 3-1 to their team total over as a home dog. And Nets continue to be one of the most profitable home dog teams as well against the number. 13-5-1 against the spread in the first half. 13-5-1 against the spread for the full game. 4-0 to the first half as a home dog, and 3-1 against the number as a home dog in general. They just play hard, man. They play hard. Orlando been good to me. Mark says -7 for him. Let's see. KCP over his 10.5 points. Interested to know why you like that, man. I feel like KCP been stinking it up recently, but we'll see. Under 209. PG says you got smoke with the Suns money. If you continue to fade Brooklyn, man, you've been losing a lot of money. You've been losing a lot of money, and I'm glad I haven't put my money on it. Merrill likes the team total under here for Brooklyn. Malik says seemed like the movie is to fade a team after they beat the Lakers. Orlando on the money line, JB says. I don't know if I go that far, but I don't know if it surprised me. Drop it down says it's way too many points if you ask me. I know it's no Schroeder. I know it's no Cam Thomas. Eventually, Brooklyn gonna have a letdown spot. But boy, I gotta wait and see it. I don't think I can play this game if I'm being honest with you guys. Do not think I can play it. Sean says you got there early -4. Nets are balling even without Cam Thomas. He is out indefinitely. Good coaching has changed the team. Shout out to Fernando, man. Fernando. I think it's Fernando. Brooklyn team total under. A lot of people liking Brooklyn not to get to 102 points today. Orlando's defense and length will be the difference. It is every time they play each other. That's a fact. Big Smooth says, I know this is a reach, Chris, but after the Nets beat my Suns outright, I think, the other day, I'm going to take the Nets on the money line. Wish me luck. Best of luck, bro. I'll be on the sideline. Derek says Orlando struggles in the first half on the road. Orlando's 3-8 against the spread in the first half on the road. And Brooklyn is an elite first half team, 6-1 against the number. We talked about that. 3-1 if they're dogs. Just talked about that. GLB Best says he took Orlando -7 last night, but looking at the database now, and man, I'm seeing a lot of good stuff with the Nets, and I kind of feel the same. Nets are doing like something. Eventually, I don't think they're gonna be this good, but I can't bet against them right now. Not with the way they're taking everybody money. 13-5-1. Eventually, you got to just notice it. Like, and I know Orlando's been good too, 9-1, straight up and against the number. But you typically want Orlando at the crib. The number it's ballooned a little bit too much, in my opinion. Let's go over to the next game. Yeah, so no Schroeder. He's out for personal reasons, Big Smooth. No Schroeder in this game. And Schroeder had 30 against the Suns the other day as well, I think. Just something to note. He was big in that game. Let's go over to Clippers and the Timberwolves. This line was at, let's see, it was at 5. Then I saw it go to 5.5. Clippers were 5.5 point dogs. And it's settled at 5. I think it's still at 5 right now. Total 216.5 has come down a little bit. This opened at 217.5. So people expecting some defense in this game. It's actually down to 214, 215 is what I'm seeing right now. So a lot of money still coming in on the under. Injury report. Norman Powell popped up, listed as questionable. He did play in that game against the Wizards the other day. And he's listed as questionable. Same injury, still a hamstring injury for Norman Powell. Trying to check the Minnesota side. Looks like they'll be pretty healthy. So we should have everybody at full strength out of potentially Norman Powell, but he hasn't been ruled out. Like I said, just questionable. So for the Clippers, last game of a 4-game road trip, they've won 7 of their last 8, and they've covered 6 of their last 7 spreads. They host Denver on Sunday. Potential look-ahead spot, who knows? And then on the Minnesota side, maybe this team has actually hit rock bottom. They've lost 4 straight, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, 1-4 against the spread in their lst 5. This will be their 3rd straight home game. They got the Lakers coming to town on Monday. So I don't think they play again until Monday, which gives them, I guess, a little bit of a advantage in this spot. And the number's actually moving now. I'm looking at it live, 5.5, moving to 6 now. So people are thinking this is the game that the Timberwolves, at least professional money, because I know it's not a bunch of public guys out here putting money on the Minnesota Timberwolves, pushing this from 5 to 6 or from 5.5 to 6. So some money coming in on the Timberwolves to clean the Clippers up in this spot to win this game by 3 possessions. Not any of my money, though. Not any of my money. This is the first game of the season between the two teams. Minnesota has dominated the Clippers as of late, going back to last season, but these teams have changed some. Minnesota had won 7 of the last 10 head-to-head matchups, including 5 of the last 6, and they've covered 5 of the last 6 spreads as well. Everybody heard I'm pretty sure you guys all heard the Anthony Edwards tweets, Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards interviews, Mike Conley interviews, even Chris Finch interviews as well. Anthony Edwards says the fans effing booing us. This is crazy, man. We're getting booed in our home arena. That's so fucking disrespectful. It's crazy. Mike Conley talked about being a vocal leader. Anthony Edwards has some more stuff to say. He said, however many of us it is, all 15, we go into our own shell, and we're just growing away from each other. It's obvious. We can see it. I can see it. The team can see it. The coaches can see it. He had a lot to say, man. He called his team, children, like little kids. He said they were soft. They didn't have an identity. None of it was on the coach. They just kind of listen to the game plan, go out there, do whatever they want to do. So Timberwolves kind of, potentially hit rock bottom. I'm not putting my money on them because the bounce back spots this season have not been bouncing back. And Exhibit A is the team out of Philadelphia. If you took, them in that very, very great spot the other day with the Houston Rockets coming off an overtime game, you got absolutely smoked in that. So, and it was other teams, other times as well. I'm going to be looking for the team to bounce back before I put my money on them. So it'd only be Clippers in this spot for me. See where the line goes. I'll probably grab a +6. They've been a much better team offensively, defensively, and I think that they can match up pretty well. The Timberwolves like to shoot a bunch of threes. The Clippers do a really good job of taking teams away from the three-point line outside of when they played the Boston Celtics, but that was on the second leg of a back-to-back. So, the more I think about the game, the more I know the Clippers are in a desperation spot. I'm sorry. I know the Timberwolves are in a desperation spot, but it'd only be Clippers in this spot for me. Only the LA Clippers, and they are coming off a pretty dominant win. They are coming off a pretty dominant win against the Washington Wizards, but we did get that one right the other day. They won that game, I think, by close to 30. But just to put some numbers real quick to what I'm talking about with the Clippers defense on the full season, holding teams to 34 36.7% from the three-point line. We know that's all the Timberwolves want to do. They don't attack the rim. That's the 5th best three-point percentage. Last 5 games, they're actually the number 1 three-point defense in the NBA, holding teams to 31% three-point accuracy. Number 2 and above the break 3 opponent three-point accuracy, 31%. And number 6 in corner threes as well. So, I kind of think that they match up well. It'd be Timberwolves plus the points for me. Is the way I'm thinking about this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Clips in the points, Juice says. Big Zoo over his 11.5 rebounds and over his 25.5 points plus rebounds. What's up, Tyler? He says, Chris, don't miss a beat. Hope you had a great day yesterday, bro. I did, man. Spent it with the fam, watched football all day, ate some real good food, got a quick workout in, jumped on the Peloton, got the turkey burn in yesterday. Appreciate you, Tyler. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving as well, bro. Best of luck to you today. What up, Marquise? He says, lots of unders today. Guys still full after dinner yesterday. What's the record on the unders after Thanksgiving? If you can look that up. Already talked about that earlier. So I'm not going to regurgitate that. You can go back and look at it, though. But it was an under trend. It wasn't a strong under trend, but it was an under trend. Clippers money line. Timberwolves out of here, Jack says. Clips plus 5. I don't think Minnesota is clicking together yet, and I agree with that. Eventually, it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen against a good team like the Clippers, though. Big Smoothie says, I'm going to be honest. I don't think nobody hammered AE 30-plus points more than me. Shaking my head. He's been coming up short by a point, shooting mad threes, and don't get 30 points. He's going to have to put his head down and go to the rim today. Like I said, Timberwolves not the Timberwolves. The Clippers got, who is it, Jeff or Steve? They got Jeff Van Gundy, right? Yeah, they got Jeff Van Gundy. Jeff Van Gundy is an excellent defensive mind of basketball in general. And it's not like Ty Lue's terrible either. Ty Lue's amazing defensively as well. They're gonna make AE work today for sure. Jax is hardened in that mode. He said this the fittest he's felt since his prime days in Houston. He still looks slow to me, but his game isn't predicated on speed no more, Jack. So I give you a little bit of credit. I give James Harden a lot of credit. He's looked really, really good. He almost outscored the Wizards by himself on Friday night for people on Tuesday night for people who was paying attention. I think he had 23 in the first quarter. I think it was like 23-26. James Harden versus the Wizards. Let's see. Jalen says, well, the Wolves not taking my money anymore. Give me the Clips. Like him on the money line here. Let's see. Jacob says, I have no bets on the side of spread this game, but I have made money blindly fading the Timberwolves this year. Should I keep the trend up? Should I bet the spread with the Clips? I like desperation spot. I get it, right? I typically don't bet against too much desperation, but like this is like you think they're gonna win by 3 possessions? I don't think so. 6 points is 3 possessions. I think the Clippers can keep this game within a number. I know it's not the greatest spot last of a 4-game road trip, but the Clips been money. Not betting against them right here. Zubac double for AB. Malik says Ant calling the team out. Got to see if that does something for them as a unit. Only looking at Ant props here. Justin says, Jay Money, what up? Shout out to my guy, Jay. I got to get on the show with Jay. Me and Jay did a show, I don't think, all season. Jay Money sent out Magic -5.5. He put that in his pocket, Justin says. So Jay think that this the fade spot for Brooklyn. Okay. Derek says Minnesota 2-7 against the spread is a home favorite. We talked about that the other day. Why we like Houston the other day. OJ says it's ugly, but he's on the Timberwolves here. On the Timberwolves. Okay. Best of luck, OJ. Brian says the team is arguing on the court. Rudy Gobert and Randall ignoring each other. Come on. I like Minnesota first quarter today after the Ant blew up. Won't be too much else in this game because they've been playing bad, Vaughn says. So real quick on this comment right here, Brian, this makes me think, right? So there is going to be a time where, in my opinion, there is going to be a time where the Timberwolves look a lot better. Like they're going to figure it out, in my opinion. They got way too much talent from Dante DiVincenzo. We know Mike Conley missed those last few games. He's the general, in my opinion. I know Anthony Edwards the best player, but he's the general, in my opinion. Julius Randle will figure it out. Like they're going to have to play a little bit better defensively, though. I do think that it happens, right? Here's my problem with liking the Timberwolves today. It's not against an easy opponent. Like the Clippers are really, really good. The other thing is the Clippers have been really, really good as a dog too. I forgot what that number is. But the other thing is it typically comes with practice. The Timberwolves lost on Tuesday night, and then I'm pretty sure nobody picked up a basketball yesterday. I don't think it comes in this spot. I'm not sure who the Clippers got up, who the Timberwolves got up next. But when they get a sorry team, like maybe they playing like Charlotte without LaMelo, or they playing honestly can't even say the Raptors because they just lost to the Raptors. I don't know, man. They're gonna beat somebody. I just don't think it's gonna be the Clippers. I don't think they beat the Clippers by 6 points. Clippers -5 in LJ's pocket. You altered the line? The Clippers +5. LJ said the Clippers winning the game by 2 possessions. Okay. There we go. There go the trend I was looking for right there. Shout out to where'd it go to? Right here. Derek says Clippers 7-2 against the spread first quarter on the road. What's the Clippers in general on the road this season? Clippers are too many P's. Clippers are 5-3-1 against the spread on the road this season, winning by average of 1 point. If they're a road dog, they are 3-3-1. They're losing by average of 6.4 points, which is right where this spread is today. They've actually lost their last 3 games in a row as a road dog after winning their first 3. They beat the Nuggets, beat the Warriors, beat the Kings, got a push against the Thunder, lost to the Rockets, and lost to the Clippers. The Timberwolves not playing to the Celtics or the Rockets level though last couple games. So I would kind of like take this with a grain of salt. I think the Clippers are better than the Timberwolves as currently constructed. We'll see how it goes. No question. The Timberwolves they'll be ready to play, I think, but we'll see what that translates to. Julius Randle birthday today. If that helps me none. I don't do the birthday stuff. Let's see. Jay Fuller, the bets that I place are all sent out to the members on my YouTube channel. If you hit the link in the description and join as a member, whenever I place a bet, you will get it. It'll be sent to the email, whatever email that you use to verify your picks. So that's for anybody looking for the best that I place. And I also share them on the show as well. Like I give people the best that I place. I haven't placed anything yet today. Kind of wanted to talk these out. Haven't really found anything that I absolutely love quite yet, if I'm being honest. A couple things I got circled. There is a bet that I do like today. I haven't placed it yet, but we'll get to it, and it'll come in one of the later games. So we got a couple more games to get through. But this is a soft team. Go Clips, Maurice says. Ant said it himself. Yeah, maybe he was calling them out though, so they don't play as soft in this game. Brian says that team is going to be there in the playoffs right now. Hard road, and I kind of agree with that. Van says if Norman Powell plays, the Clippers win. Clips got Nuggets on deck at home. I said that already, BJ. Derek says Clippers 8-5 against the spread as an underdog in general. So take away the home road dichotomy. Just take the Clippers on the road. Take the Clippers as a dog. Oh man, that's funny. All right, let's keep it pushing, man. Next game up. Let's go to the Celtics and the Bulls. So Boston will be in Chicago today, laying 11 points. This line opened, let's see, it wasn't 11. I think it was like 9.5, 10. Let's see, let me get to it in my notes. Open 10, up to 11-point dogs right now. So Boston has won 6 games in a row. And if we look at real quick, I forgot to even mention this. Let's go back just very, very quickly. I'm kind of all over the place. A lot of games today. If we go back to cup play, Minnesota's 1-2. They're -14 in point differential. And the Clippers are second in the West, in the Group A Cup in the West. 1-1. They're -5 in point differential. They lost to the Houston Rockets, beat the Sacramento Kings. The Timberwolves lost to the Portland Trail Blazers. They beat the Kings and lost to the Houston Rockets as well. So Rockets looking like they're going to win that pretty easily. Point differential, they're +49. Rockets pretty much got that in the bag. So that's something to kind of take into consideration there. When we look at cup play in this game specifically, we got the Boston Celtics at 2-1, the Chicago Bulls at 2-1, and the Atlanta Hawks all at 2-1. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 1-1 in cup play, and then the Washington Wizards, of course, have not won a cup game. So point differential could really come to play in this game because the Bulls are 2-1. They beat the Atlanta Hawks and beat the Washington Wizards. They lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they're plus 15. The Cleveland Cavaliers are also a plus 15. The Boston Celtics are plus 14. So if Boston does care about this cup thing, then they win today and they'll be in the driver's seat here. If Boston beats Chicago today, then they'll go to 2-2. I'm sorry, they'll go to 3-1. Chicago will drop to 2-2. Atlanta probably loses to Cleveland today. They'll go to 2-2, and then Cleveland will go to 2-1. So that's the way cup should play out. Boston has a chance to not only be number one in cup play, but a chance to have the biggest point differential in today's cup play as well. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. So Boston, they've actually won 6 in a row. They finally got a cover the other day after failing to cover 5 straight before Porzingis. They actually have the rest advantage in this spot as well. This is a third game in 4 nights for the Chicago Bulls. Boston was actually one of only 2 teams that did not play on Tuesday. And, Porzingis came back in their last game. They smoked the Clippers in that spot, beat them by 32 points on Monday. They do have the Cleveland Cavaliers, as I mentioned earlier, on Sunday in that rematch, and they'll be on the road of the best 2 teams in the Eastern Conference as far as record-wise. Injury report, you got Kobe White listed as questionable. Lonzo Ball supposed to make his, I'm not sure if his return, but he is listed as probable for this game. I didn't see anybody listed on the Boston side. I think Al Horford came off the injury report. I think Cole Kmet I don't think he played the last game. I don't think it really matters if Porzingis is back. Boston has actually won 4 straight and 7 of the last 10 in the head-to-head matchup with the Chicago Bulls. They've covered 3 in a row, and they have 3 straight overs in the head-to-head, in the head-to-head matchup as well. And just again, never really know what kind of effort you're gonna get from Boston in this spot. Should they absolutely dominate the Chicago Bulls? Yes. Can they win this game by 15 to 20 points? Absolutely, yes. Will they be locked in? Who knows? Especially with Cleveland on deck. I know that they beat them, but they probably could potentially be looking ahead to that game. Not a game that I'm probably going to play at all. I think if anything, maybe some player props, some Derek White up and over his threes. Kobe White means a lot, in my opinion. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how if Kobe White plays. If Kobe White doesn't play, I think he means a whole lot to what Chicago likes to do offensively. So we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how this one goes. I did not get there with the side or the total in this game. The total is a tad bit too high for me. Know that the Bulls are playing at a super fast pace, but I can't quite get there with a 243.5. That number seems a tad bit too high. Boston has the potential and the capability of really locking the Bulls down if they really wanted to. Not sure if they want to in this spot, though. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Going back real quick, Minnesota 0-6 in their last 6 games versus top 10 scoring. Clippers look like they have been better chemistry as well. Like the Clippers on the spread, I like it as well. Celtics first half, D. Williams says, they've been the best first half team as far as scoring. Defensively, they're not always locked in. Boston is still really good in the first half. Right now, you can get Boston -6 on one book. Everybody else got a 6.5. I see this all the way up to 7.5 on FanDuel. So shop around, get the best number. Boston -6 makes I could get behind that bet. Vooch over is 1.5 threes. Big Smooth says he's been cashing that. I couldn't talk you off. Vooch over is 25.5 points plus rebounds. A lot of people liking Vooch today. Merrill likes Levine to get 3 rebounds and over 2.5 threes, and Tatum to hit 4 threes. A lot of looks there. Okay. Celtics team total over is what I thought it would be. 127.5 is extremely high. That's how I kind of feel about it too, Will. It's just, I know it's cup play. I need Boston like in a revenge spot or a bounce back spot for me to want to take their team total at 127.5, especially coming off a 32-point win against the Clippers the other day. Brian says they're starting to put Boston points 65.5 in the first half. I still think they could get there, but that used to be money. Malik says, welcome to the city, Boston. Celtics first half, don't worry about it. Bulls team total under is a lean for me. I'll probably get there. Let's see what their team total is right now. Boston team total is Chicago team total 115.5. That is a pretty high number. 116 points is a pretty high number, so I could see that. I could see Boston playing a little bit better defensively. Remember, last season Boston was better on the road than they were at home as well. So for whatever reason, they have their letdowns at the crib. So yeah, Chicago team total under. I could get behind that, Malik, especially if Kobe White doesn't play. I'm gonna write that one down. I haven't written a lot of things down today. Chicago team total under 115.5. And I know that they play super fast. They play pretty good. Boston has the potential to hold this team to 105 points if they really wanted to, though. Let's see. Mark says he got a -9.5. Prepping his turkey yesterday for Boston. Justin says me too, but I wasn't prepping a turkey. Where he says what I said, Kobe means a ton. I would agree, man. I would definitely agree. Porzingis first quarter points, Charles says. Vooch over his 1.5 threes. 242 minutes. It's 243.5. Brian says Boston trifecta. J Dot says take the over 239. Love it. I don't even see a 239. I see 240. This total not 230 anything. Let's keep pushing. Next game up, we got Raptors and Heat. Heat laying 8 points as a home favorite here against the Toronto Raptors. Total sitting 219.5. Let's see. Did this move? Yeah, 219.5 is what I'm seeing. So, man, this one seems like 1 + 1 should equal 2. Shout out to my guy Ski. Who's laying 8 points with the Heat? I gotta trying to make sense of this. So Toronto, let's start with the injury report. So Jimmy did leave the last game against Charlotte the other day. Shout out to the Miami Heat. Very gracious for their first half average. We cashed the -1.5 pretty easily. Jimmy left that game at the end of the third quarter. He never returned. Eric Spoelstra said that his back had kind of tightened up a little bit, so he didn't play in the fourth quarter. And they got smoked in the fourth quarter. They almost ended up losing the game outright to the Charlotte Hornets. Let Charlotte come all the way back. But Jimmy is off the injury report. He is supposed to play in this game today. And I think what that means for Miami, let me just double check it real quick so I can be factual. Is Miami should have a pretty clean injury report. Yeah, so Terry Rozier is in. Kevin Love has missed the last 2 games. He's listed as questionable in this spot. We'll see if he plays. Doesn't really move the needle for me. Duncan Robinson is also listed as probable. I think he's going to play. He has some glute tightness in the last game. And Terry Rozier is also listed as probable in this game. On the opposite side for the Toronto Raptors, you got Grady Dick is listed. He continues to be listed as out. No Quickly, of course. Kelly Olynyk still hasn't played yet. And then Bruce Brown also still hasn't played yet. So for the Toronto side, last of a 4-game road trip, typically a phase spot. They have covered back-to-back games, and they've actually covered 5 of their last 6 games. The Toronto Raptors have been feisty, especially since getting Scotty Barnes back. RJ Barrett's been pretty good. Abaji's been pretty good. Jakob Poeltl's been pretty good. And then you got the Miami Heat on the opposite side. 3rd game in 4 nights because they were on the back-to-back on Monday and Tuesday. Back-to-back non-covers against the Charlotte Hornets and the Milwaukee Bucks as well. I can't lay this big of a number, man. I can't lay a ton of points with the Miami Heat. Excuse me. Toronto is the 5th best covering team in the league. This is on my short list. Toronto is the 5th best covering team in the league so far this season. Miami's 7-9 against the spread on the full season, 8-8 straight up. They're just 2-4 against the spread as a home favorite out of Miami Heat. And they only have just 1 home win by 8-point margin this season. That actually came against the team from Philadelphia. They beat them by 17. Outside of that, every single game for Miami has been pretty close. The other thing I look at with Miami is how they play off a win or off a loss, because that's been something that's been pretty successful this season. If you've been betting them, based on the spot, the Heat are just 1-6 against the number when they're coming off a win, a game that they actually won. So they have been super inconsistent. They seem to be content with just winning the game by 1 or 2 possessions. So this would be a spot. I don't really agree with the movement here. This was at 7.5. It's been pushed up to 8. I don't really agree with the movement here. I think that Toronto can keep this game within 8.5. I see an 8.5 on ESPN Bet right now. I think that would be my top look in this game. Not laying points with the Miami Heat right now. Like I said, they just don't seem like they want to win by margin. Let's see. Hero Merle says over his 22.5 points. Scotty Barnes over his 14.5. Merle, you probably play 100 plays a day. Jesus Christ. Scotty Barnes over his 14.5 rebounds and assists. If they cash for you, keep playing them though. Like RJ Barrett over his 25.5 points and assists. Duncan Robinson over his 2.5 threes. Boy, if I had this many slips in, I wouldn't be able to watch the games. Peasy likes the Raptors +8, and he played the over. G421 like the Raptors as well. Boston team total under 128. Tasha says, I can't believe Tasha stepping in front of Boston, but makes a ton of sense to me. Jay Fuller says Heat don't blow people out. Butler 30. Blue Mamba says. I say hangover. They play slow today. Yeah, we gotta keep that in mind. We got cup play and we got post Turkey Day basketball, man. It's a lot going on in these games today, which is why I kind of wanted to take my time and not go too crazy early, man. I'm gonna just kind of monitor the injury report, see what we get. All right. Yeah, I'm glad you. As long as you keep cashing them, that's all that matters, bro. I'm a low volume type of guy, but if you play a lot and win a lot, keep playing them a lot. Yeah, I'm not looking towards the Heat though. Just going back to this game real quick. I just want to look at. I feel like I lost in a spot like this last year. Let me just double check. So the Heat, going back to last season, the Heat were 5-8, 5-8-1 against the number last season. When they were laying 6 points or more as a home favorite. So they only covered 38.5%. Pretty small sample size. That's what, 14 games? They won by average of 10 points though. So when they win, they typically do win big at home. But this season and last season included, they've already been 6-point favorites or more twice this season at home. And they failed to cover against the Pistons. We were on them in that spot. I remember that. They won that game by 8. Shout out to Cade. I think it was Cade or Ivy who hit a big 3 late to give us a push. I mean, to give us a win by 0.5 point. They were getting 8. The Pistons were getting 8.5. The Pistons lost the game by 8. And then the Bucks were getting 6. And the Bucks won the game outright. So, yeah, this is a spot that I'm not laying points with the Heat. Going back to last season, 5-10-1 against the number as a home favorite, laying 5.5 points or more are the Miami Heat. The Raptors have been money on the road, so I would be looking towards the Raptors. I think they can keep this game competitive. They are 25-18 against the number as a road dog since the start of last season. This season, they are 7-4 against the number, covering 64% of their games. Back-to-back coverage against the Pistons and the Pelicans in this spot as well after losing to the Cavs. They covered against the Celtics as well. Almost won that game outright in overtime with the Celtics. So, yeah, this is the spot where that's the way that I would be looking in this game. Raptors or nothing. Let's see. Let's keep it pushing. Next game we got up is the Detroit Pistons and Indiana Pacers. This line is at 6. It opened 6.5 in favor of the Pacers. Total open 229. And a little bit of money coming in on the over, pushing this up to 229.5. And that's what it looks like. This line actually coming down. I see 5s now, 5.5s as well. So money coming in on Detroit here. We've been talking about this for a while, man. Like, how do you really want to lay points with the Indiana Pacers? They haven't been covering at all. Real quick on the injury report before I jump into the logistics here. You do got Cade Cunningham. He has been upgraded to questionable. He had been listed as doubtful in the last couple games. He's missed the last 3 games, but I kind of think Cade plays in this game. If we go back to group play, we got to remember that the Indiana Pacers have actually been hooping in group play. They are, what are the Pacers? I'm sorry, not the Pacers. I'm thinking about Pacers. What are the Detroit Pistons? What I'm trying to say. They're undefeated in group play. 2-0 straight up. They are +4 in point differential. They really need to win because the Bucks are 3-0 and they're +29. So they do need to win. They beat Miami in this spot. They beat Toronto in this spot. They got the Pacers left, and then they play the Bucks in their last cup game. So yeah, I think the Pacers are 0-2 in cup play. They've actually been outscored by 25 points. Game probably doesn't mean as much to them. They probably want to win. But this is a game that if I'm playing it, I probably want the points in my pocket, especially with potentially Cade coming back. Tobias Harris is also listed as questionable. Both of those guys listed as questionable. I didn't really see anything on Ben Shepherd, but he hasn't been playing. I want to say he's still out. Let me just double check. he's gonna miss multiple weeks, so he's definitely out. And then Andrew Nembhard and Neesmith are also continue to be out. And like I said, the Pacers have just been a fade, man. Detroit is on the first leg of a back-to-back. They play the team from Philadelphia tomorrow. Detroit just got smoked in Memphis. They lost that game by 20 on Tuesday, and they've actually failed to cover 5 straight spreads of the Detroit Pistons. But I do think, like I said, the last 3 being without Cade doesn't really move the needle too much for me. The Pacers, a lot better at home than they've been on the road, and this is their 3rd straight home game. They beat the Washington Wizards, they beat the Portland Trailblazers, and they beat the New Orleans Pelicans. A round of applause for the Indiana Pacers. 3 wins against probably the 3 worst teams in the NBA. And they still, even within their last 10 games, 2-7-1 against the number. Can't lay points with them at this point. This is the last of a 4-game homestand for them as well. So yeah, it'd be Detroit in this spot, man. I think, especially if Detroit gets Cade back, I think they can keep this game within the margin. Indiana has they've dominated the head-to-head matchup. They've won 7 of the last 10 head-to-head. They've covered 7 of the last 10 as well. And in the head-to-head meeting, they have 5 straight wins and 5 straight covers. Detroit played them hard. I think it might have been first, second game of the season in Detroit, but they couldn't score the ball late. I think I just think 6 is a tad bit too many. I think I'll be catching the points here. Not laying with the Pacers right now, especially in a motivational cup game for the Detroit Pistons that are undefeated right now. It's the way I'm looking at this one. Let's see. GLB Best says he likes the under in this spot. Detroit's offenses look terrible recently, so I could see an under. Pacers playing pretty slow. I know that they went over against the Portland Trailblazers the other day. I kind of like the under in that spot. But I could get there with an under here. I think 230 is too high, especially for a Detroit game. Detroit offensively can really, really dry up their offense can really dry up at times. So I can see that. If Cade doesn't play, it's definitely an under game in my opinion. Scott says Detroit just needs everyone to be healthy. Merrill likes Cade over his 25.5 points. What up, SK? Says, can we get a Detroit bet? No, not today. I'm not on Detroit. If Cade's ruled in and Tobias, I don't even like Tobias, but they need him though. He can play defense and stretch the floor, I guess. I'm not a big Tobias guy, but if they get everybody in, I'll take Detroit plus the points. I'll grab a plus. Are there any plus 6s left? No, it's all down to 5.5. Well, it's a 6 on Bally Bet. I'll grab a 6 with and Bet Rivers got a couple plus 6s. I'll grab a plus 5.5 plus 6 if Detroit got all their guys in. I will. SK says Cade rebounds and assists has been money. That's what I was looking at. I know somebody mentioned his points. Merle mentioned his points here. I would be looking at his rebounds and assists as well. I think he can rebound the ball against this Pacers team, and assists definitely going to be there. Cade's been cooking assist-wise, and the Pacers not playing much defense. Dropping Dime says, got to roll with the Pacers minus 5.5. A lot here. He says a loss here probably eliminates them from the cup. That don't mean they're going to win by margin. Dropping Dimes. 2-7-1 against the spread last 10. Can't touch him. Cannot touch him. Pistons with motivation. Sign me up, Coop says. And that's the way I'm kind of thinking as well. Malik Beasley over his 13.5. Siakam over his 19.5. Merrill says. Detroit plus 6 for Bryant. Will says Cade always play well against the Pacers after Thanksgiving every year. Vegan Cade over his point. Hold on. Cade and Vegan? Hold on, bro. Cade not a vegan, is he? Oh, Cade is a vegan, bro. I had no idea, man. Been a vegan since high school is what this article says. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Cade. It's hard out here being in that vegan lifestyle, man. I'm a vegan as well. I didn't know Cade was a vegan. I knew Chris Paul was a vegan. Detroit first quarter points. Getting there. Scott says, hey, Chris, real quick. In those 3 wins, what was Indiana's over-under results? So they were 2-1 to the under. The Pacers have gone back-to-back unders before playing against the Portland Trailblazers. They went over against the Blazers. They went under against the Wizards, and they went under against the Pelicans. So 2-1 to the under, Scott, was that trend. SK says Cade over his 14.5 and 10 straight. Could we expect a minutes limit? I don't think so. Would it be in a cup game? But don't listen to me. Injury report comes out probably 10 minutes before the game. That's when I'm probably gonna be firing off some of these bets, if I'm being honest. What up, Free Sauce? He says, caught my guy live. What up, bro? Hope all is well with you. Dropping Dime says, also, the Pacers always turn up for the traditional home game after Thanksgiving. Okay. Tasha says, Scotty Barnes over his 7.5 rebounds. Cam says, Jakob Poeltl under his points, rebounds, and assists. He says, I won't bet against us, against the spread, but the Pels bamboozled with the injury report. I can see that. Malik says, we're gonna have to talk offline about how you ignore the call of a double cheeseburger. But bro, I eat Beyond Burgers all the time. Like, it's actually one of my favorite things to eat because I be cheap. Like, I still eat like some junk food. I try to eat a lot of vegetables and fruit, but I don't live a raw vegan lifestyle. Like, it's not like raw, like it's not like a super raw, like my food not heated type of thing. But yeah, I do eat I've been vegan for two and a half years now. It's been a while since I've been vegan. Yeah, BP says he's pescatarian, so a cheating vegan. Just a little fish. The unwritten rule says Pacers not covering a damn thing. I don't think so either, man. Blue Magic says, what do you think about Halliburton in this game? Halliburton can have a good game. Halliburton home road splits have been money. If you've been paying attention, he continuously goes under on the road. He's put together some back-to-back really good performances against some poor defenses though as well. But he has gone back-to-back. He's going back-to-back really good games for Tyrese Halliburton. Finally starting to find his shot. I think he had 5 threes last game. So yeah, Tyrese Halliburton has been good at home specifically. OJ says this is the biggest game of the Pistons season so far. After partying before that Memphis game and losing, I think they approached this one the right way. I did not see that they was partying, OJ. If you can find that, send it to me, bro. I need to see that. And it makes sense that they was partying because Jaden Ivey had just hit the game winner against Toronto. So they probably did go out and celebrate. Got smoked in Memphis. Made a ton of sense, man. All right, let's move over to the next game. We got Sacramento and Portland. This line is on the move. I see it up to 7 right now. Up to 7 total, 226, which is up from the 223, which you guys see on the screen. So some money coming in on the over, some money coming in on the Kings in this spot. Real quick, let's check I feel like something had to change. Did I miss something? No, I didn't miss anything. All right, so just want to double check real quick. So in this spot, we got a Sacramento team that is not playing well recently, but they did get a big win the other night against the Toronto Raptors. Let's get to my notes real quick. All right, so this line was at 4.5. So a lot of money coming in on the Sacramento Kings in this spot to push this all the way up to 7. Like I said, the total has moved up as well. Sacramento finally got a win against Minnesota the other day after 4 straight losses and 6 straight non-covers. One of the reasons why I'm not putting my hard-earned money on them in this spot. They do host San Antonio on Sunday, and overall they're just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. One thing I think that's really interesting for Sacramento is that DeMar DeRozan didn't play in that last game. He's still out in this game as well. He's going to be out on the Toronto side. Clingan, on the Portland side, Clingan was going to be out for the next couple weeks, and Jeremy Grant was listed as doubtful in this game. I think Scoot Henderson, let me just double check it real quick. I think Scoot is listed as he's off the injury report altogether. Chris Murray is listed as game time decision. Robert Williams is in concussion protocol. He's probably going to miss this game. He's listed as doubtful. He did miss the last game as well. And of course, no Matisse Thybulle. So, and Trey Lyles, of course, is going to miss 3 to 4 weeks for the Sacramento Kings on the Sacramento Kings side as well. So a lot of stuff on the injury report here. Portland, what I wanted to mention about Sacramento before I move over to Portland is they play a lot better without DeMar DeRozan. For anybody who watched that game the other day against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I know the Timberwolves are trash, but the Sacramento Kings hadn't covered a game in 6 straight games. Malik Monk got in there, did his thing. De'Aaron Fox did his thing. Sabonis, like he always does, Rudy Gobert, played really, really well in that spot. Sacramento might be buy on without DeMar DeRozan, because it feels like they're kind of playing like they did last year, and they still got pretty much everybody outside of Harrison Barnes, who was a corpse of himself last year anyway. So I kind of like Sacramento. Not in this spot though, as much, just because I think it's a pretty big number. I don't trust them defensively. On the Portland side, this is their first game back home after a 5-game road trip. That's typically a face spot. They've lost back-to-back games, and they've lost 4 of their last 5. But they have covered 6 of their last 8. And you just need them to cover if you take them plus the points in this spot. Their last game that they just played against Indiana, they covered in that spot. They were getting 9.5 points. They lost by 7. And they got the Dallas Mavericks, host the Dallas Mavericks on Sunday. So I looked at Sacramento. They dominated this matchup against Portland. They won 7 of the last 10 head-to-head matchups. The only meeting that they played earlier this season, Portland did get a push. They were getting 13 points in Sacramento, and that game went under the 231. This total opened a lot lower, but it is actually getting pushed up. I think I like the under in this game. I think under in this game makes the most sense. Sacramento, we know Portland. We've talked about this for a while now. Portland, they went over against the Indiana Pacers, but they've continuously just went under throughout the full season. And just to put some numbers with that real quick, Portland is 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games. They've actually gone under in 6 of their last 7 games. So they had 6 straight unders before the last game. I think Portland can slow down Sacramento's offense. I think Portland probably dictates pace because they're at home in this game, and Sacramento can cruise to, I don't even know if they cover honestly, but I think they can cruise to a game where Portland's not scoring a bunch of points in this spot. Sacramento also just 3-3 against the spread as a road favorite this season, but with low totals, I looked at totals below 229. The Kings are when they're a road favorite and the total is below 229, they're 0-2 against the spread and straight up. They lost to the Clippers in this spot. They lost to the Spurs in this spot. Both of those games went under by 25 and 10.5 points. So that was another reason why I like the under a lot. Under 226.5. I'm not sure why the total's going up. We'll see what happens with Jeremy Grant. If it continues to trickle up, this game doesn't start until 10 o'clock tonight. I'm probably going to get there with a under. I'll see how high it goes, but I like the game to go under here. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Coop says Chris is a vegan. Learn something new every day. I've talked about being a vegan on the stream before. Merrill likes Sabonis over his assists. Malik Monk over his points. Mark says can't back either of these teams. Portland first quarter still a thing. Brian says, I would need Jeremy Grant in my opinion, for me to want to play Portland here. But I'm not playing the Kings. I think the Kings over the course of the game, Portland coming off a road loss, I can see Portland continue to be motivated. They've been playing super hard, which is why they've covered, what did I say? I think Portland has covered 6 of their last 8 games. Yeah, they've covered 6 of their last 8 games. I'm not betting against Portland right now. Let's see. Fox for 40, Blue Mamba says. Sacramento just 3-5 against the spread after a win, Derek says. Yeah, I like Portland. It'd be Portland plus the points and the under for me. And I think that they correlate. Kyle says Kyrie Irving and DeAndre Jordan are vegans. I knew Kyrie was. I didn't know that DeAndre Jordan was a vegan. Makes sense. He's been playing the NBA for a super long time. Sacramento spot here, OJ says. Why so? Let me know why. GLB Bet says rested home dogs off a road loss who are about to play in a cup game are 5-2 against the spread. The Kings and the under 6-1. Love to see it. What up, Markel? He says, what's up, bro? Finally caught alive. 77 Figure says Cash Blazers and Indy the other night. They are a scrappy bunch. They absolutely are, especially being back home. I think that just works even more in their advantage. But I like I said, I kind of want a little bit of offense in. This Portland team is not the greatest offensive team. They still got Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe. Denny Avdia can be feisty at times. DeAndre Ayton is second game back for him. He was dealing with that hand injury. They don't have a lot off their bench though, and if Chris Murray's gonna miss, they got Scoot Henderson. But I really want Jeremy Grant to be a part of this if I do get involved. And like I said, Jeremy Grant is listed as doubtful right now with a knee injury. He did miss that game Wednesday against the Pacers, so I'll wait it out. See what happens with the injury report here. I'm waiting for the injury report with a lot of these games, if I'm being honest. Let's go over to the last game. This is the game that I actually I kind of got to play on. Two things I want to play in this game. And it's the Oklahoma City Thunder against my Los Angeles Lakers. Game will be played in LA today. The Lakers are now 2-point dogs, 2.5 it looks like it's moving towards. total coming down. This was at 231.5 earlier. It's down to 220. I'm sorry, to 230.5. So some money coming in on the under. I agree with it. Money coming in on the Thunder. I agree with it as well. So let's talk about the game. We got this line was at 1 yesterday around this time, because this is when I started looking into the games yesterday. This line was at 1. The Lakers were 1-point dogs. The Lakers had actually flipped to a 1-point favorite, and the total was 228.5. So money actually pushed this up to the over to 232. Now it's coming back down, and I agree with the money coming back down to the 231, like I said. So Oklahoma City has won 3 straight. This is the third game of a 4-game road trip. It's a cup game as well, and they'll finish off in Houston on Sunday. That's going to be a good game. Denver versus Houston. Houston probably going to have a little bit of revenge on their mind after getting smoked against Oklahoma City in Oklahoma earlier this season. For the Lakers, first game back home after a little slight 2-game road trip. They finally got a win against the San Antonio Spurs 2 nights ago after 3 straight losses and 5 straight non-covers for the Lakers. 3 straight unders for the Lakers. Offensively, they looked poorly in the 2 games before the San Antonio game. And then for some reason against San Antonio, twice this season now, they've looked really good defensively. They've, kind of held San Antonio offense in check. So that game did go under. I think they only gave up 100 points in that game. This is a one-off home game for the Lakers as well. After this, they got 3 straight road games to start in Utah on Saturday. I think on Sunday. I don't think it's the first leg of a back-to-back. So injury report. Caruso is listed as out for the Thunder. Jalen Williams left that last game, like J-Dub, the good brown-skinned Jalen Williams. He went to he left the game. He got poked in his eye and did not return against the Golden State Warriors the other day. He is off the injury report though. I think that's the reason why this line is moved from 1.5 from 1 to 2, 2.5. Jalen Williams means a lot if you've been watching the Oklahoma City Thunder play. You know how much he means, especially with them being depleted. The Oklahoma City Thunder got a lot of players on the injury report. It's crazy that they're 14-4 and Isaiah Hartenstein has missed so much time. Chet Holmgren has missed so much time. Caruso has missed so much time. The big Jalen Williams has missed so much time. And then they just added Jang to the injury report as well. Within the last week, he doesn't mean that much, but he's also on the injury report and won't play in this game. So the Lakers, for whatever reason, have been the team that has really given OKC some trouble. They've actually won 3 straight games against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm pretty sure that's the longest active streak against the Oklahoma City Thunder, because the Thunder been pretty much beating up on everybody. I know that they're not losing 3 straight games to any opponent, but the Lakers, like I said, have won 3 straight in the head-to-head matchup. They've actually won 5 of the last 6 against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Lakers have actually covered 3 straight in the head-to-head matchup and 5 of the last 6 as well. So the Lakers, for whatever reason, have given the Oklahoma City Thunder a lot of problems. That's, of course, with Chet Holmgren, who won't be a part of this game. But now you got Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah Hartenstein has been really good in the limited minutes that he's played for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I looked into it a little bit yesterday. Oklahoma City is a plus. They're outscoring their opponents by 22.3 points per 100 possessions with Isaiah Hartenstein on the floor defensively. And they're giving up just 92.7 points per 100 possessions with Isaiah Hartenstein on the floor. I think he plays big minutes in this game. I know a lot of people have been catching his points, his rebounds. I think both of those are live in this spot against the Lakers. Not a good rebounding team outside of Anthony Davis. I think Isaiah Hartenstein can slow. I'm not going to say stop Anthony Davis. I do think the Lakers try to play inside out. But I think the Lakers' best attribute is their offense. I think OKC's best attribute has been their defense. They've not been great offensively. I kind of feel like they can get a Lakers fits in this spot. You put LeBron James in the torture chamber, put Lou Dort on him. I consider taking LeBron under his points at 21.5. But my top play for the game, I haven't even locked it in yet. But what I am going to play is LeBron James under his assists. The line is 9.5. And this is the one thing that kind of spoke to me. Let me just make sure the line hasn't moved, because this was minus 125 when I looked at it earlier. Let's see what it is now. Yeah, it's still minus 125. I like LeBron under his 9.5 assists in this game. Doesn't matter if the Lakers win, if the Lakers lose. I don't really like betting against. I don't really bet on Laker games in general. If you guys have been a part of the channel, you know that. But I do think it's an Oklahoma City spot. I'm pretty sure they remember losing to this team over and over. You also got the Lakers, who just haven't been good against good teams. The wins that the Lakers have gotten have come against some of the poor teams in the NBA. Oklahoma City is really good at basketball. I mentioned it being 14-4. Going back to LeBron under his assist, though, Bron has actually failed to cover. He hasn't had double-digit assists. His line's at 9.5. He's not had 10 assists against Oklahoma City in 4 straight head-to-head matchups. I know right now, and in those 4 games when he played them last season, he only averaged 11.5 potential assists in general in the last 4 head-to-head matchups. So if they can if this is played the way that, the games have recently been played against Oklahoma City, he won't even have that many potential assist opportunities. I think it's a nice phase spot of LeBron. He's actually going over his 9.5 assists in back-to-back games. He had 10 and 11 against Phoenix and against Sacramento, and he's cleared a 9.5 in 3 of his last 4 games and 7 of his last 10 games as well. And I think that's why the line is a tad bit inflated, in my opinion. I think this is a sell high spot for LeBron James. I'm taking LeBron under his 9.5 assists in this spot. And real quick, just to put some numbers to that, if I'm looking at teams and I'm looking at assist numbers, let's see, because I didn't even look into this. I liked it anyway. Oklahoma City allows the 6th fewest assists on the season, just 24.6 so far this season. Yeah, I like. I kind of like the key. I kind of like OKC, and I'm probably gonna get there. Maybe just money line. But I am playing LeBron under his 9.5 assists. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. He says, "Sorry, Chris. I took OKC +1 last night. You got a good number. Just moved 3 points. I like it. I like it. How to be fly? Dennis says, found you on Cows on Kerms the sauce. I appreciate your work, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in, Dennis. Hopefully you can make some money today, man. Hopefully we all can make some money today." Tasha says, "Oh my, Chris, you like OKC over your boys?" I do, man. I just think it's a talent discrepancy. The Lakers, when they play against really good teams, they've been getting smoked. And I didn't, talk about that, but real quick, let's just look at it. The Lakers, when they played against teams that have a 50% win percentage or better, are just 3-5 straight up, 3-5 against the spread. They're losing by an average of 6 points per game. They beat the Suns at the beginning of the season. They lost to the Suns, but covered. Lost to the Cavs, got smoked in that spot. They got smoked by the Grizzlies. Then they beat the Grizzlies. They lost to the Magic, lost to the Nuggets, lost to the Suns, and they did just beat the Spurs. But I'm not sure how good the Spurs are, if I'm being honest. The Spurs are one of those Jekyll and Hyde type teams that I can't get a good grasp on. Haven't been betting a lot of their games. Yeah, I just think that it's a Thunder spot. I do think the Thunder continue to win games. I think if you like the Lakers maybe early, I feel like the Lakers been running out of gas a lot in the second half of games. Let's see if this supports that. Yeah, they're averaging 57 points, almost 58 points in the first half of games, only averaging 55 in the second half of games. So for whatever reason, third quarter, they've been really bad when they've been playing against really good teams. And let's just look at the Thunder real quick. Thunder are 6-2 straight up on the road, 5-3 against the spread, winning by an average of 10 points per game. They beat the Wizards. They beat the Kings. They lost to the Spurs by 4 with the rest disadvantage. They lost to the Nuggets by 2 without Jokic. Beat the Clippers, beat the Trailblazers, beat the Bulls, beat the Nuggets. I think they can beat the Lakers too. I do think they can beat the Lakers. Markel says Lakers own the Thunder. Are y'all tripping? And it's got to reverse itself every now and then, Markel. I would love for the Lakers to win. Don't get it twisted. I just think it's a Thunder spot. Brian says the Lakers have not showed us how to play defense, and they're going to get exposed again. And I agree with that, man. Thunder, the way that they play offense is really good. Who is stopping SGA? SGA can have 40 in this game. Like, who you going to put Dalton Connect on him? No, not Dalton Connect. You're going to put Austin Reeves on him. No, not Austin Reeves. You put D'Angelo Russell on him. No. You put LeBron on him. Man, nobody on, like, SGA about to go crazy against the Lakers. Y'all see what he did to the Golden State Warriors? They're a much better team than the Lakers. Merrill says he likes Anthony Davis, thinks he has a big game. Over 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Bron triple-dub, Merrill says. You think the Lakers will win for real? I don't think so. I didn't say that. SGA over 28.5 points. I just talked about this. J-Dub for Oklahoma City is Draymond Green of the team. I think at this point in his career, a little better than Draymond. What up, Can't Stop? Hope you had a great Thanksgiving as well. BJ says he likes. I like Dalton in the starting lineup. They're a little bit better with him in the starting lineup just because it helps offensively a lot. Says give them another score, which they need. Yeah, Rudy Hachimura is not. He's a better defender than Dalton Connect, but he's not a great. He's not a shot maker, and that's what you need. BJ says Cam Reddish and D'Lo are trash. Yeah, I guess you put Cam Reddish on SGA. That'll slow him down. Mark says, I'll take OKC on the money line here. What up, Rick? Is J-Dub out? Nah, he's going to be in tonight. Dort clamping them up tonight. I agree with that. Lakers are a different team. Home and LeBron as a playmaker been great since D-Russ been in the doghouse. Bron going to get his 10 assists. We're on the opposite sides here. I will be on LeBron under his 9.5 assists in this game. Brian says, Chris, you're funny. They don't have anybody to guard drop coverage under screen. Pathetic. Yeah, I'm not putting my money on the Lakers, man. I can't do it. I will be, like I said, I will be on the assist under for LeBron though. That's just kind of what spoke to me in this game. I mentioned to you guys, Oklahoma City is with Isaiah Hartenstein on the floor, giving up 92.7 points per 100 possessions. It's kind of unfadeable to me, if I'm being honest. That's not something that I want to fade. Defensively, they've been really, really good. So we talked out a couple things. Let's put them on the screen so you guys can see what we talked about if you missed some of the show. Let's start at the top. Get to a quick recap. All right, so let's just go with what I absolutely love. LeBron James under his 9.5 assists. I will be on that today. Have not played it yet, but I will be on that. So we can call that an official play. Haven't played anything else though. Top looks on the board. Really like Toronto plus the 8.5. I know it's super square. They just continue to cover. I don't think the Heat win games by double digits though. Also like Sacramento, Portland under. I'm gonna wait on Jeremy Grant news, but right now the best number that you can get is LeBron assists is minus 142 on a couple books as well. If you like the under, so the books are agreeing with me there. We'll see we'll see what happens though. And the Lakers are moving to 3-point dogs on a couple books as well. Under 226, it looks like is the best number for Sacramento and Portland. That Chicago team total makes a lot of sense to me too. I think I'll wait to see what happens with Kobe White. Chicago team total under 115.5. I don't see Boston giving up 116 points. Not with Porzingis back. I think defensively they'll be good. Shout out to Malik. I know he dropped that in the chat. And then we talked about this at the beginning too. Cleveland. If I like Cleveland, I'm playing first half. You can get a minus 2.5 for Cleveland today. In the revenge spot against the Atlanta Hawks the other day. Against the Atlanta Hawks the other day. I didn't play that yet, but I'm probably going to get there with that as well. Memphis and New Orleans, I can't get there. I need to see what happens with the injury report. The Pelicans got 3 key guys on the injury report. Orlando, Brooklyn, I'm going to sit on the sideline there. Best and wish you guys luck, whatever you're playing. Clippers plus the 6. I gotta get the Clips a little love. Let's see. Clippers plus 6. Boston, Chicago. I like the Chicago team total under. Toronto, Miami got that. Detroit plus the 5.5 is on the honorable mention list. I forgot to add that. Gotta be looking towards Detroit in my opinion in this spot. Like I said, the Pacers are 2-7 against the 2-7-1 against the number in their last 10 games. No way I'm laying points with the Pacers right now. I just need Cade in though, and honestly he's not good, but I need Tobias Harris to be in as well. Yeah, I think that's all I like. And a strong lean towards let me change this up real quick and I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see it all. Strong lean towards OKC. Probably play the money line, but I think the 2.5 should be good money too. Didn't play it, but I'm not ready to back the Lakers in any capacity against a good team, and I told you guys why already. So Let me put this up on the screen. These will be the top looks for myself today. I've actually been doing pretty good with low volume, so I know I'm not playing everything that you guys see, but I will be on LeBron under his assists. Under 9.5. I like Cleveland in the bounce back spot early, like we talked about. The Clippers plus the 6. The Timberwolves will be desperate, but I don't think that means that they're gonna win the game by 7 points. Toronto plus the 8.5. Not laying points with Miami. Chicago team total under 115.5. That's a big number to get against the Boston Celtics. Detroit plus the 5.5 if K gets ruled in. Sacramento, Portland under 226. If Jeremy Grant gets ruled in, I might jump on a little bit of Portland plus 7 too. And then OKC minus 2.5 would be my other play. Best of luck to you guys, man. Whatever it is that you're playing. I know this was a super long show. I didn't expect it to be this long, but I kind of wanted to talk it out a little bit more and kind of look into a few things while we did the show. And it's a ton of games on too, man. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the show, let me know. If you guys are making plays today, let me know. Remember, it's 2 things to take into consideration today. Post-Thanksgiving, which I think more tends to fade towards the dogs, and also the teams that had to travel, the road teams, because they'll be a little bit more locked in. And then you also got cup play. So 2 things to take into consideration for the games today. Some great resources that you guys can utilize if you guys are new to the ChrisBeCappinn community. Most of you guys probably know about these, but jaXon, kind of like a chat GPT for the new people, can give you a lot of great analysis, historical trends, data, tables, charts, you name it. Can all you got to do is type in what you want to see. You can get 50% off using code ChrisBeCappinn with 2 P's, 2 N's. That is a link for it is in the description of the video, as is Moneyballer, another one-stop shop with all the trends, all the data, all of the everything that you would need to make money, sports betting in general, from NBA to NFL, all of those different things. Check out Moneyballer, and then OddsJam as always is on here as well. 20% off of OddsJam if you guys are interested using pro code CBC. So best of luck to everybody that's tapped in for today, man. Best of luck on whatever it is that you're playing. Be back tomorrow. I think it's a much smaller slate, but we'll be back tomorrow as we always are. Enjoy your Black Friday, and I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.